It's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you a new playthrough. Now this one's going to be a little different because normally when I do these playthrough series, while I do have done a couple of games that can be played competitively, this one is strictly competitive, but it was so much fun. Then when I played it last, and a couple times I played it, I just thought that it was worth sharing. And we're going to do something a little different with this. I know most people have seen recordings of this game just showing the basic game, but I'm going to do something a little different because I got my Kickstarter stuff, and there was a lot of extra stuff with it, and multiple factions, and etc. But to give you the basics, you are a pirate ship and a pirate crew led by a series of pirate heroes, and you are in the middle of boarding or being boarded by another pirate ship. So this is after all the cannon fire took place and the two ships slam side by side, and the pirate crews start to advance and come at you from the different game planks and swinging over on the lines and just riggings and going crazy, and heck, the Kraken might even come get you or something like that. Anyway, in the base game box of this, you have two factions with one of these big, giant, beautiful ships like the one you see right in front of you, and another one has a similar type of ship. It's more like a ghostly ship because it's the undead crew. We're not going to play with that undead crew today. We're going to play with one of the main groups called the Wellsport Brotherhood, and they are led by Captain Daniel Pale. And he's got a mighty crew of swashbucklers and a very big ship. And in a recent battle, he's being boarded by three ships, three smaller ships of the dread pirate crew of Mazu's dreadful curse. One is a very Asian-themed group of characters, and the other one is definitely a more commonly known-looking pirate-type characters. Anyway, in this game, it's kind of like there's some combinations of rules in here, and it's very interesting. It was designed to be like a board game MOBA, and if you don't know what a MOBA is, it's a computer, PC, or a console game where you're running these characters into. You got a bunch of heroes running around you, but you're also running like minion characters into the areas you have to destroy, and you have to hit these certain checkpoints and things like that. It's designed to be like that. So you have these heroes that can basically go and do whatever they want, and then you have these crew members. In this case, you have two types. You have crewmen, deckhands, they're called, and also bosuns, which buff the deckhands. So what you see in front of you are the group of deckhands on their starting location. You know there's a starting location because this is the spawn point. They have a token right there, and at the beginning of the game, you're going to set it up where there's 4 of your deckhands on the tokens, on the spawn points on each one. Now, this is a different setup than the base game because you have 2 big giant ships, and they're just going head to head. There's 3 gangplanks on one side. They're facing each other and they're coming across. In this one, they're coming at you from multiple directions. So you have this group over here on this side with the ship, and the 2 other ships boarding from the other side. And the yellow ships are the Asian-themed Mazu's dreadful curse crew. And etc., etc. And what you're trying to do is drive your basic characters over onto the ship. So you got your deckhands, and for example, here is one of the bosuns for the Wellsport Brotherhood. I'm just going to focus in right here for now. And what you got with these 4 guys is at a certain point in turn, and I'll run through the turn orders, these guys are going to move forward, and they're charging across. They're trying to get to this other ship, and that's their plan, is to get across this other ship and actually hit the locations of the other ship's main points. So in this case, the armory is on board this ship, and when they hit it, they're going to they're going to attack it and do damage to it. Now, remember, they just go in a straight line. They're going to keep going, and then they'll eventually occupy that space and just be there until they're killed. And again, you see they're going to charge across this way, and up here you can see these guys. They're going to charge across this way. Well, it's a little different for the guys in the yellow ship. You see these guys here. They're going to move over one and then come down this lane here. Their spawn point's off to the side because their ship is a little different, etc. And that's how the basic units move. Now, you're going to keep advancing, spawning, and then you get to bring your heroes into play. So, for example, this fine figure here, which is awesome. Man, I hope I get the chance to paint these. These are really, really cool miniatures. They are made of a soft plastic, which, well, it's kind of weird. They're rigid in some areas and soft in others, but anyway, they're so well done. They are full of detail. They're just awesome. Anyway, this is the captain of the Wellsport Brotherhood, Captain Daniel Pale. And he is a hero with a bunch of special abilities. So you can see, if I put his card up here on the screen, he's got all these abilities. Now this game steals, I know people have said, how is that? This game steals a lot of stuff from other cool mini or not games such as Zombicide, and I'll show you why I say that. So, I don't know if you know Zombicide, then you know, for example, if you're looking at Daniel Pale's sheet here, you can see that he's got a 4. That's how many dice his Quicksilver blade. You see he's got 4 dice. He rolls 4 dice, he needs a 4+, and it's got a range of 1. That's very similar to a Zombicide type weapon. Also, their actions, they get 3 actions which they can take during the turn. A move action, they can move 2 spaces. They can swing across the riggings, which has the chance of putting them in the drink. And I noticed that these smaller ships here seem to have a little more space between them and the riggings. I'm not sure if, for instance, it's still 3, I guess, but it just looks like there's a bigger gap there, even though I don't believe there is. But it would be if you're trying to swing on from the middle, because there's only 2 spots to get there. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, got sidetracked there. You can see they're going to build up. Now, what is different is they're going to build up money. So you see on the upper right of each ability, there, like for Captain Pale, there's a 004. So each turn he's not in play, he's going to build up a coin. And when he is in play, for every guy that he defeats or knocks out, he's going to gain a coin as well. Also, basically, you gain a coin for killing anybody, another hero, for example, or whatever. And he's got 10 hits, so he can take some damage as he's running around the ship doing what he wants. Now, he's not restricted to a lane, he's just restricted to legal spaces. And again, he's got 3 actions. So that could be a move, which covers 2 spaces. You could swing in the riggings, which is another action. You can attack a group of people, like you could attack these guys here, that's another action. And you're swinging away and you're going to do lots of damage, maybe kill a whole bunch of them. Or you can use one of your special abilities that might do something else. And all of their powers, each one of these guys has a unique set of abilities and weapons and stuff that they use, which makes them really, really cool. So, anyway, just let's talk turn order now, because it's really not very difficult. It's a very streamlined game, which is part of what made it fun. The turns went by fast. It kind of reminded me of Arcadia Quest and how quickly the turns went. That's another thing. Arcadia Quest, the characters in Arcadia Quest get 3 actions and they can do what blah 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 and attack. It's very similar to some of the other games, which I actually like because I like those other games. So Arcadia Quest is an awesome game that I play with my kids fairly often. Anyway, player's turn consists of preparing the heroes. And like I said, when you do that, you're going to put a gold piece, a gold coin, and I have the nice plastic gold coins like these. It normally comes with cardboard coins, which I also have. I'm just not using them for this playthrough. You're going to put a coin on each one of the heroes that you don't have activated in play. And in the first turn, nobody will have any of them in play until they activate them. Then you're going to fire your deck gun. Now, here is the deck gun for the Wellsport Brotherhood. This can fire into any legal space, and it can attack any model. It can't attack the spaces that you see here. It can, however, attack sea creatures like the sea dragon or the kraken, which could come up in this playthrough or this session. I don't know. But it will, yeah, it will happen. Undoubtedly, it happened in the last game that I played, and in fact, the Krakens come out in every game. It really matters in how quickly you decide to destroy it because it attacks everybody, not just the guys you summoned it against. Okay, so anyway, after you fire the deck gun, you're going to roll some damage. And the deck gun, let me show you here. The deck gun has some stats as well. It says may target any zone on the board. And you're going to roll 4 dice, so you need a 4+, and it's got a special because it can attack anywhere, right? So you're going to do that, and for every die that you see succeed a 4 hit, you're going to a 4 on, you're going to get a hit. That could be applied against the deckhands, which each take 1 hit, so you could kill up to 4 of them in one fire of your deck gun, or you could target a hero and do significant damage to them. Then you're going to deploy your crew. When you deploy your crew, it's really simple. You're just going to take 2 new guys. So let me scroll up here and show you. So you would take, I'm just going to give you an example. I'm not actually going to put these out, but just to show you what that looks like. You're going to take 2 new guys and you're going to put them in the spawn point. Now these ones will have already moved by then, but you're just going to put them there, and you can do that on each of your 3. You're going to have 3 spaces that spawn guys, and you can put them on each of the 3 spaces. And then you get to spawn. After that, you're going to deploy a couple bosuns as well. And like I said, these are the bosuns here for the Wellsport Brotherhood. Big fat belly guy with a big crossbow thing in his hand. Or that's an anchor, actually. It's got an anchor and a chain. Really cool looking. And then I thought it was even cooler looking are the bosuns for the Mazu's Dreadful Curse. These are the bosuns for them. Aren't they cool? Man, yeah, they're just awesome. And they go in with the crew. And kind of like Zombicide, there's a targeting priority. Meaning if I attack this group, I'm going to first hit the regular crew. And then if there was a bosun amongst them, he'd be the last one to hit in this group. And then furthermore, if there was a hero amongst them, I couldn't hit the hero until I'd gone through these 4 guys and the bosun, unless I have a special ability that allows me to do that. So that is, anyway, that's deploy. You're going to deploy, okay? Then you're going to activate your crew. All your deckhands are going to move. Now, if for some reason there is a, let's say this happens right here, this scenario, there's something blocking it, then they're going to attack first. So before they move, they're actually going to attack. And they would attack him and do damage. And they wouldn't move at that point unless they wouldn't move at all. Even if they killed him, they'd still stay where they are after their attack, as an example. Now, also, if, for example, I'll just use this bosun. If this guy's coming this way onto the ship here, he could attack when he gets to here, he's going to start attacking the wheel. And if this is how you win the game, by destroying these points. And if you look on the back, not only do you destroy them, you get 2 victory points for the wheel, you also get a gold reward, and you get a bonus. You get a +1 Tide card in your hand, and I'll tell you what the Tide cards are in a bit. Okay, so otherwise you would just move them all. They'd all just mosey on up a space, just like that, until they encounter something to fight. Okay, and then again, you'd also put out your bosuns. Then you get to the cool part, the fun part is you get to deploy your heroes. So in that first turn, when we get to the stage, they're all going to have a coin on them, but I'm going to get to deploy 3 of them. And that means I can put them on any spawn point on the board and start activating them. And again, you do it one at a time. You can't activate one, take a move, then activate another, take a move. You got to do all 3 of their actions in one shot. But I get to activate all my special heroes. So Stumper Pete can get out there, and you can see he's kind of a ugly-looking fellow, all gruesome. But he's got a big drum, and he keeps the crew rowing on the ship. And he's got some special abilities. His Mighty Blow, Bloodlust. He is our brute, meaning he's just a big thug, right? And each of these heroes has a special task. Miss Mags is the quartermaster. She actually can one of her base abilities is Payday. When she attacks, not only does she get to attack, but one deployed hero gains a gold coin. So she actually can help that way, and she has other abilities too. So they all do something different. You get to activate 3 of them in your activation. Now, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen. Some of them are going to end up going out into the water, and they're going to be out for a moment, and they come back. All kinds of crazy things. It's great. So once we've deployed all of our heroes to the board, then we get to take turns and activate them each one at a time until we've done all 3. And if they spend coins to use their ability, those coins are gone. So they need to use them judiciously, or if they do use them, go kill a whole bunch of other fellas. So the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to unleash the Kraken. Now, that is only going to happen, and to tell you about the Kraken, I need to tell you about the next part, which are the the cards, the special cards, are called tide cards, and you're always going to have a hand of 3. You're going to draw them at the end of your turn. So the first turn we're not going to have any. There are basically, if I read right, there are 10 cards that are similar to everybody else's. They're all the same, basically. They're duplicates. And then there's another 20 cards in a 30-card deck that are very unique to that faction. So, in fact, here's one that summons a creature. Summons the Sea Dragon. Okay, but you also see that it has a Kraken symbol on there. Well, we're going to keep those aside, and we're going to tally up these Kraken symbols. And every time one of them appears, we're going to roll 2 dice. And if we roll less than how many Kraken symbols there are exposed, then the Kraken will come out, and he's going to attack everybody. He's not friendly at all. Now, you can play these when it's appropriate, so it'll tell you when you can do it. A friendly turn, for example. After a friendly hero performs a move is when you can perform this one. End of the enemy turn. Sea Dragon can't already be on the board. So at the end of the enemy turn, you can actually play the Sea Dragon down. And again, there is a stack of 30 of these cards for each faction. Okay, and that basically ends it. So once you've drawn up your cards, you're going to, that's into your turn. Now, you will at that time also gain some plunder from killing things, etc., etc. So, and basically that's how the game plays out. So I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun, and it goes by very, very quickly when you're playing this. So during a playthrough, it's probably going to be a little slower, a little longer. And I think I may have to go hands-free on the camera on this, because as you can see, and I got this on the stand right now, so I'll just kind of pan around. This game is just big. These ships are huge. I mean, it really feels like you got this big, giant, awesome pirate ship. And, you know, maybe I might just zone in. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm not going to take a turn in this one. I'm going to take the turn in the next game. This is just going to give you some insight as to what the game's going to be. And, again, just going over some of the miniatures, I particularly like Mags. She's pretty neat. And also on the other crew, there is actually, and he looks just like Kung Fu Panda. There's a panda, Lang, the Lord of Lang, who is a panda warrior guy from the other pirate crew. You can see he's pretty cool, really nice miniature. Now, see, this is weird because this guy's harder plastic than some of the other ones. Like I said, the Daniel Pale is a much softer seeming plastic. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. The miniatures are cool. And also, to mark your miniatures so you know who your heroes are, you have these colored bases. So this is the color of the Wellsport Brotherhood, is this greenish color. And then you have the yellow for the Mazu's Dreadful Curse. So anyway, guys, that is the setup. And how do you win? Well, you win by getting up to 6 victory points. So that would be all 3 of these, or 3 of the 4 of those. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. So you need 3 of them to get the victory points to win. Also, if you defeat the Kraken, he's worth some victory points, as is the Sea Dragon is worth some victory points. So there's numerous ways to gain the victory points in the game. Again, it's a fast game. It doesn't seem to take that long. And I'm not even showing you the box of stuff that I got. You can go look at some other unboxings on this. The box of stuff that I got for this game, like all Cool Mini or Not games, was gigantic. And I had basically, now I did get both of the boxed factions that came out with the Kickstarter. So one of them was Mazu's Dreadful Curse, and the other one is, I think, the Brise Sanguine, like a French pirate group, pretty neat. And then there's these mercenary groups and blah, 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 lots and lots of stuff. And you're going to get to see how the game plays, and you're going to get to see, I mean, look, even the deckhands miniatures are just so cool. This guy's got like an octopus hat on with the tentacle coming up and holding a sword in it, and then a sword in his hand, and he's a pretty neat looking guy. I mean, look at that. The detail is really phenomenal. Yeah, and I really like, look at this, one of these just deckhand sword guys from the Mazu's Dreadful Curse. Pretty amazing. All right, guys, so that's going to be it. The rest of it I'll talk about during gameplay. But like I said, when you destroy these tiles, you also get a special ability. So I already showed you the wheelhouse. Let me show you what the sail. So if I destroy the sail, the mainmast, I don't get a special ability, but I get a lot of money, 6 coins and 2 victory points. If I destroy the riggings, and this is, again, I actually didn't look to see. I don't think it's different for the different factions. I'm going to get these rigging lines, and it's going to be may reroll all rigging checks, which is cool because you can fall in the water when you fail the rigging checks, which is not a good thing. And let me see. The other thing, so for example, the Mazu's Dreadful Curse, they don't have as many of these. There's only 3 of them, but they're worth 3 experience points each, so you only need to take 2 of them. And the deck gun allows you to, enemies can't fire their deck gun anymore. It's pretty good. So, of course, in this case, if I do manage to take that, it won't matter because their deck gun will be gone. But remember, this can be a multiplayer game, not just a 2-player game. I still am not too clear on how that works, but I assume it works just fine. When I read the rules, I'm like, God, this is just a 2-player game, it seems to me. But it has rules for playing with 3 to 6 players, and you each pick a different faction. It just seems like you're only ever going to have 2 ships, right? 2 ships, or 2 different ship groups going at it. Anyway, let me just while I'm talking, I've been putting up pictures for you to see some things, just so you can see what the different things look like. Pretty awesome. I want to show you the big giant token that goes on the board for the Kraken. And it shows you here he's got 16 hit points and he's worth 2 victory points. And you flip him over, he gives you the friendly heroes +1 attack die for all friendly heroes. So that's pretty powerful. Anyway, again, you'll see how all this works. So this is the setup, guys. When I come back next turn, we're going to be taking some turns, and we're going to be having a big old pirate boarding party battle. It's going to be awesome. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. By the way, guys, I'm 20 away from passing my 2,000 subscriber. Help me get there. I am building a box of stuff, and I'm going to give it to somebody when I pass that 2,000 mark. And it's got some games, a variety of games. I'm going to put one like real premium game that I know you should like, depending on, I don't know what kind of games you play. I play all kinds of games. And then I'm going to have some other games that I know you'll like, but they're smaller box games and stuff. And I'm going to make like a package for whoever gets randomly drawn after I pass that 2,000 person mark on my subscribers. So thanks again, guys. I look forward to it, and I'll talk to you soon.